I'm going to talk to you today about proper maintenance issues that you need to take care of in between big maintenance issues so you can keep your boat running good. Let's start down here at the prop. A lot of times this area down here is really what makes your boat go. This is really important area. And one thing that I always monitor, make sure I don't have any line behind my prop. That can cause a lot of problems. Just a little bit of fishing line, braided line, or any kind of thing behind your prop, it wears out those really important seals in here, and you have gear grease in here. You have a lot of important stuff that's going on in the lower unit of your engine. And if you let that oil get out, if oil is getting out, it's a good chance that water's getting in, and it's not going to work right. Oil and water don't mix. You've heard that before. So always check to make sure you don't have any line behind your prop. Second thing is, I always get down here at eye level with my prop, give it a good spin, and I'm always looking to make sure that there's no wobble in my prop shaft. It's really easy to point out. If you got any kind of wobble, what's going to happen is you're going to wear out the bearings and the carriers that are in here, and they're going to wear out prematurely. So it's a good idea, if you've ever hit something, give that prop a spin and make sure that you don't have any play. Give it a good tug, make sure you don't have any play, and there's no wobble in your prop shaft. If you do, you're going to wear it out, and eventually it's going to leave you stranded. Second thing I like to do is just make sure I've got all my grease fittings. I always put a little dot of grease on my trim tabs here. Also make sure there's a few grease fittings right here on the steering column, as well as on the mounting plate here. I make sure I keep those guys nice and greased and performing good, because you don't want to have too much play in any of that. And the best way to protect those bearings in here is to keep all of that greased. Also at the back of your boat, you're going to have several different bolts that you want to make sure you keep tight. Right back here, you've got a torque tab. You want to make sure that you keep that nut nice and tight, because you don't want that to come down and hit your prop. That's going to cause problems. You're going to end up bending the ear over. I also like to make sure that I'm, with so much vibration and so much that's going on back here on the transom of the boat, personally, I like to make sure all my bolts are tight. My transom bolts from the jack plate and my mounting bolts on the jack plate, I like to make sure that they're torqued down correctly. So check out your owner's manual. Make sure these bolts are torqued down perfectly, because if you get any play, what you're going to eventually do is you're going to lose some transom bolts, and it's going to leave you stranded. So always do that. Moving on, we always talk about the engine. We talk about grass. We talk about our Minn Kota trolling motors or whatever we're running, our batteries. We're really good about giving those attention, but I'm really peculiar about my trailer. If you can't get to the lake, you can't go fishing, guys. So I always go around and make sure I don't have any grease coming from my hubs on my trailer. When I'm pumping gas, I'll just kind of go down and fill them to make sure they're not getting warm or anything. But your wheels, your trailer are very, very important. So make sure that your hubs stay full of grease or oil, depending on what type of trailer you have, because your trailer is probably the most important thing you got on your investment. Always check your air pressure and your tires as well. The number one reason you have a blowout on a trailer is because of low pressure in your tires. Just by a simple tire gauge, make sure your tires are inflated to the manufacturer specs. Because bilge and the live wheel's clean, actually. Another good area that you can inspect that'll save you a lot of trouble is making sure that you keep the bilge of your boat clean. When you're backing up, putting your boat in reverse in shallow water, a lot of times you can have a lot of dirt and sediment that will gather in the bottom of the boat. Keep that cleaned out. Get back here with a hose pipe, take out some of these plates, and make sure you wash all of that sediment and dirt out, because what's going to happen is it's going to get in your bilge pumps. If your bilge pumps take up in all that sand and dirt and grime, you're going to cause those to foul out. You don't want to have bilge pump problems on the water as well. Moving on to the live well, hey, this is where we keep all the goods, is here in the jacuzzi. Keep that area clean. I like to clean it with just nice Dawn dish detergent, maybe a little vinegar. I don't like to use a lot of toxic chemicals in my live well. But this is really important. This is where I keep all my money at right here. Think of it as just your safe. You want to keep that nice and clean, free of sediment. Just like in the bilge of your boat, when you put your boat in reverse in shallow water, a lot of times what happens is you flush a lot of dirt and rocks into the live well. If that gets in your aerators, it will foul out your aerator pumps. And if you don't have aerator pumps, your fish are going to die. So keep it clean in here, wash it out, get your shop vac, and get all of that sediment and dirt out of your live wells. And I promise you, you won't have problems out of your live well. Hey, so I like Bucks Island, but I can tell you, I don't want to come here for maintenance problems that I'm having with my boat. And you can prevent maintenance problems with your boat if you just take the time just to inspect a few little areas on a boat. You're not going to have near as many catastrophic failures when you're out there on the water. Stinks a little bit too.
His fragrance isn't.
Look at him, he can't even open his mouth. He's mad. He's mad. He's talking about, he said hook on me so hard. I don't know why he did that. All I was in here trying to do is eat brim. You like that catastrophic? Dang.